My entire life, I've wanted to be a fighter pilot. My mother is actually a pilot, and she's the inspiration behind my love for aviation. Becoming a fighter pilot in the US Navy and attending the Top Gun course has really always been a dream of mine. It meant not only becoming a great pilot, but more importantly, a great instructor. There's very few people who are selected to attend the course, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the few.
That dream of flying, the dream of aviation, that really started for me many, many years ago when I was just a little boy. We used to have a holiday home close to an airbase here in Switzerland, and my granddad used to take me right up to the runway of that airbase, and the jets used to take off. You're literally 8-10 meters away. That noise, that energy, the vibration in the ground, it just makes your heart race. That feeling of power, that feeling of control that comes with a fast jet, it's left an impression with me that's never gone away. I took a different route in life, but of course joining IWC back in 2006, that allowed me to really at least have a part of that dream come true.
In this profession, everything that we do is connected to timing. Every brief that we start with a time hack where we synchronize our watches. All the pre-mission planning that we do is based off of a certain amount of time. Our takeoffs are on time. We rendezvous with tankers airborne at a certain time. And every mission that we execute has time on target that's coordinated with down to the second accuracy.
IWC has this very long legacy of making pilots' watches ever since the 1930s. It was the then owner Homberger's sons who were both passionate pilots and really brought that idea of creating special watches for pilots to IWC.
My fascination for aviation probably started when I was a kid. I was building all these model jet planes like the F-4 Phantom, the F-14 Tomcat, even these high-speed planes like the SR-71 Blackbird. I was really fascinated with the design of these planes, and it was the pilots' watches that brought me to IWC in 2008, and I came across the design of the big pilot's watch in particular, which is so emblematic, and I was really fascinated with that purity in design, that pure aesthetics, where you could really tell that this is all based on the principle form follows function. IWC created a couple of legendary military pieces, like the iconic Mark 11 for the Royal Air Force in 1948. The legendary Top Gun chronograph from 2007. This piece marked a new level in the design with this all-black design, all ceramic case, together with this very crisp graphics, which were inherited from the historic pilot's watches. This formed the design language, which became the design signature for all the Top Gun watches in the years after.
Over the last 80 years or so, the demands that modern aviation has put on pilots' watches is completely different from what it was in the early days. In a fast jet cockpit environment, in terms of precision, robustness, the G-forces, the pressure drops, where these watches are banged around the cockpit a lot, it's a confined space, and that really puts all the demand on engineering to deliver the best watches we possibly can. And that's something we enjoy at IWC immensely, from the engineers to the watchmakers to design to development. And of course, me, myself, we're all passionate about what it takes to build the perfect pilot's watch.
An aircraft carrier is one of the most dangerous and unforgiving environments on the planet. When we launch from a catapult, we go from 0 to 160 miles an hour in about 2 seconds. When we land, it's about the same in deceleration. It feels a lot like a controlled crash, almost like a car accident. Flying a fighter jet like the F-18 Super Hornet is the wildest ride that you could ever imagine. One of the things most people don't realize about flying a fighter aircraft is how violent and physically demanding it is. While you're pulling G-forces and gravity is literally trying to push blood out of your head and you're fighting to stay awake, it's exhilarating and very fun all at the same time, but it's something to definitely be respected. For a fighter pilot, it's essential to have a watch that is not only accurate and precise, but that's also extremely robust and durable. You need a watch that you don't have to worry about when you're flying.
Our Top Gun watches are made from extremely durable and resilient materials that can withstand even the extreme environment a jet pilot faces in his cockpit. Every material is unique. If you look at titanium, it's very light and unbreakable. Ceramics is very hard and very scratch resistant. The question we asked ourselves, what if we could combine the advantages of both ceramics and titanium? And that's the birth of Ceratanium. The production process of Ceratanium starts with a raw material rod. It's a special alloy that is exclusively produced for IWC. Then we cut, we drill and mill our components to the finished dimensions. After that, we apply a surface treatment. And finally, you apply the most important step, which is the heat treatment. You put your components in an oven, and during this oven process, the surface of the metal alloy will go into a phase transformation and form a ceramic layer. And that's where you get a very hard and scratch-resistant surface, but at the same time, this unique black matte color.
Ever since I joined IWC, I focused on fostering our relationship with different segments of aviation. So we're proud partners with US Naval Aviations. We make watches for military pilots, for civilian pilots. It's all about pushing the boundaries of making watches that are more precise and more robust than anything else in the market, but it's also to always be part of that story and be part of that dream.
In 2018, we started working together with a couple of Navy squadrons and also with the Navy Fighter Weapons School. We created watches for the graduates of the Fighter Tactics Instructor program, which is a successor of the Top Gun program. The aesthetics of the official graduates watch becomes now available as a commercial piece. We introduced the Top Gun Chronograph edition SFTI. This watch comes in a 44mm ceramics case made from zirconium oxide ceramics. This watch features ceratanium pushers and a ceratanium crown and a ceratanium case back and clasp. The dial has the typical purity of IWC pilots' watches for perfect legibility day and night. The iconic graphics of the dials have been combined with a beautiful detail on the second hand, which features a jet airplane with a red silhouette on the counterweight of the stop hand. The piece is limited to 1,500 pieces and combines the pure aesthetics of the iconic pilot's design signature with an ultra-sleek all-black design.
From the watchmakers to the designers to the engineers, we're all extremely passionate about aviation. And I hope that pilots from every area of aviation, when they wear our instruments on their wrists, I hope that they can feel not only the quality, the precision, the performance of these watches, but also the love and the passion that goes into every single IWC that we produce.
To me, my watch feels special. It's always going to be a symbol of what I was fortunate enough to be part of throughout my career and the opportunities that I was able to have, the professionals that I worked with, and I'll always be able to take what I learned throughout my training and my career and apply it to my life, constantly trying to be better, whether that's being a dad or a husband, never accepting failure, and always trying to make the world a better place.